that, ladies and gentlemen, was the moment that I gained my first event win. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Fraser McKenzie here, and welcome to this week's episode of the TOTD Show. There is a lot of news to get through this week. We have got JBL's contracts finally decided. We have got some new faces to Formula 2, a couple of returns, a demotion, plus a major event that's taking place this coming Monday. But before we get into all of that, I say we get into what happened over the course of this week in this week's results. Alright, sorry about that, folks. My camera decided to cut out on me. But nevertheless, let's bring you up to speed with what's happened. Now, I don't have the results for TOTD, but I do have the championship standings, which is probably the more important thing right now. So, there's a lot to get through. And, oh boy, where to even begin? So, let's start, as always, with the Formula 1. And, well, it is a lot closer at the top of the championship than it has been in previous weeks. Silverstone wasn't the best of days for some of our races. Stephen Harrison's lead at the top of the championship is now down to 4 points. Dan Blackwell with 179 points. Anthony Bauer managing to take full advantage of that at 140 points. Anthony Waddington, 124 points. It wasn't the best race for him either. Dean Barry at 5th with 119 points. That's your top 5. Constructors' Championship. You've got Ferrari with 381 running away with it. Joe Allen, the Red Bull boys, 236. Mercedes 226. Haas 202. Racing Point 196. Renault 190. McLaren 174. Alfa Romeo 147. Toro Rosso 128. And Williams with 73. In the Formula 2 standings, you've got Adrian Solomon continuing to increase his lead at the top of the championship. He is at 131 points. Ryan Sturman with 69 points. And Jimmy Lafreniere also on 69 points. Nate Davis on 64. Justin Higham with 63. Then it was me and Damien Lightoller with 49 points, respectively. Then, in the Constructors' Championship, Prema 258. Virtuosi 225, MP 220, Dams 192, Carlin 190, ART 159, BWT Arden 144, Sauber Junior Team 100 points, Trident 83, and Campos with 76. That is the championship standings for the F1 for the Talk of the Devil. But now, let's get into the XRL. So yeah, what a field day it was for the XRL. We're going to start off, as always, with X1, because that's how we start the coverage, and that's how we're going to go through the results. So, it was Ferrari's first ever X1 win, with Dean Barry getting his first win as well. So, massive congratulations to them. The podium consisted of Chris Harley, who also got the fastest lap of the race. And we had a reserve driver in place for third. We had a Haas driver as a reserve in third. So, but anyway, let's have a look at how that affects the championship. You got Philip Nilsson. It was action-packed all the way, similar to that of Bahrain earlier in the season. Anthony Waddington continuing to close the gap on Philip Nilsson. Safe to say Philip's got a little bit of rust after not racing for a couple of weeks. But he's still at the top of the championship with 117 points. Waddington has 111. Anthony Bauer, 105. Dean Barry with his win puts him into fourth in the championship with 93 points. Chris Harley up into fifth now with 89 points. Owen Lewis down to sixth with 74. Arthur Bowler, 71. It was a race to forget for the Mercedes boys. Oh boy. Hanil Patel, 46 points. Cesar Lopez, the boss of the league, with 40 points. JBL with 16 points. That's your top 10 for the Drivers' Championship. The Constructors' Championship. Oh, goody. This is going to be a field day. Red Bull Racing continuing to show their dominance at the top of the championship. 216 points. Racing Point, 179. Ferrari, 109. Mercedes, 103. They're down to fourth. Renault up into fifth with 97 points. Alfa Romeo, 92. Williams with 68 points. Haas with 66. McLaren, 61. And Toro Rosso with 49. So moving into the X2 now. And here we go. We have got... we had a reserve driver filling in. Actually, no, it was Jamie Keats. Jamie Keats getting the win. His third win of the season. And as a result of that, continues to extend his lead at the top of the championship. Then the other two steps on the podium were taken up by a reserve driver for Williams and Pete Polini for Alfa Romeo. So this is how the Drivers' Championship looks. You got Jamie Keats at the top with 142 points. Pete Polini down to second with 134 points. Chris Allen, 98 points. Matt Anderson, 68. And Maxime Patou with 66 points. Derek Ekmanis with 50 points. Ken Helberstad with 48. Neil with 47 points. Bryce Faulkner with 37 points. And Malbert Rogers with 31 points. But Brendan Zarglis also tied on 31 points, but Malbert has better finishing positions. Constructors' Championship, and it is Ferrari at the top with 216 points. Alfa Romeo with 200. Renault 163. Mercedes with 88 points. Toro Rosso 81. McLaren 74. Racing Point 54. Williams 45. Red Bull with 10. And Haas with just 5. So heading into the X3 standings, and well, let's just put it this way, it was another race to forget for me, and I'm not going to be racing in X3 this weekend, which I think is a good thing because it will give me a chance to rest and recuperate heading into the next round, which will be Hungary. So championship standings, you've got Oliver Sonen at the top with 176 points. Jonathan Lilly with 99 points. Luke Chance, 79 points. Ryan Sturman with 77. King Pleb, 71. Retro Rixie, 46. Jimo Jones, 43. Inel Classic, 39. Stumpy Steam, 39. And Blaztik with 27. That's your top 10 for the Drivers' Championship. The Constructors' Championship, it is a tie at the top. Red Bull and Renault both tied on 178 points. But Red Bull have the better results, so they're at the top on result countback. Excuse me. Racing Point 105. Ferrari 83, Mercedes 82, Williams 81, McLaren 77, Haas with 50, Toro Rosso 46, and Alfa Romeo with 43. So that's your standings. But we also have one more league to go through. That is, of course, the Limit Racing League. Yep. We have the Limit Racing League partnering with the Extreme Racing League. Once this decides to open. So we just have the drivers' standings at. We just have the drivers' standings at the moment. We've got Oliver Sonnen at the top with 63 points. Chris Allen with 43. Ken Helberstad with 37. Dan Blackwell 35. Pushkar Nagam 29. Jamie Keats 28. Joe Newman 24. Matt Picklew 23. TES Leclerc with 19. PZ Tem with 15. And Chris Harley also on 15 points. So that's the top of the championship standings at the moment. So now, let's get into this week's news. So one of the biggest news stories this week is that JBL's contracts have been finalized. And oh boy, we've got a very juicy lineup. We've got Patrick Horosco on a 5-race deal with Renault. Then you've got Mercedes and we've got Dean Barry joining Mercedes for a 5-race deal. Matt Anderson joining Renault for the rest of the season. So we've got a fresh lineup for Renault. Chris Harley joining Alfa Romeo on a 5-race deal. Andrew Jaschke for Williams, a 5-race deal. And Matt Goodyear, Alfa Romeo, a 5-race deal as well. We've got Anthony Waddington with a 10-race deal for Mercedes. I would imagine he'll be going right to the end of the season. But the biggest transfer coming out of these contracts is we could end up with a famous rivalry on our hands in the form of Callum Harrod being teammate to none other than Andrew Jaschke at Williams. Oh boy, that's going to be a field day. Now, this is what the announcement stated. Williams are famous for some of their rivalries, and this is no different. Callum dropped Andrew back in the manager-driver days, and Andrew won't let him forget it. Let the blood flow. Watch this one. That was from Gregor Telford earlier in the week. So that is the contracts. So that's the contracts taken care of. Some of the new recruits for Talk of the Devil. We have got Matt Ashman returning to Talk of the Devil for the first time since the end of Season 1 as a reserve F2 driver. Matt Ashman, welcome back to Talk of the Devil. We have missed you. We've got a couple of new F2 drivers, Gary Henderson and Jan Bashki, however you pronounce it, I don't know. And we have a demotion for Dean Harrison. Relegated from a Red Bull seat in F1 down to F2. But I think the biggest news story is this one coming up. And I'll let the video speak for itself. Yep. We have got a big event coming up this week. We are partnering with Total Impact Racing. Whoo-wee, that is going to be a field day. And it is this coming Monday that we are going to be going face-to-face with Total Impact Racing. We've got the 5 best TOTD drivers and the 5 best XRL drivers teaming up against 10 of the best Total Impact Racing drivers as well. Well, where to even begin? So, the lineups are as follows. Callum Harrod, Stephen Harrison, Jamie Callan, Anthony Waddington, and Dean Barry. Those are your drivers for the TOTD side of the lineup. And joining them from XRL, Anthony Bauer, Philip Nilsson, Pete Pellini, Arthur Bowler, and Jamie Keats. What a lineup that is. And this is a team name that I came up with for the forces of Talk of the Devil and Extreme Racing League. XTR. Extreme Talk Races. And I can announce that once I okay it with the admin team, the Knockout Cup will be called the XTR Knockout Cup. And I think what we can also do is, with the Classic Elimination events, we'll call it the XTR Classic. But who has been selected from Total Impact Racing? Well, here we go. We have got Syke Zaney, Bingley, Towley, K77 Matt, Shots, Apex, Williams, Cookie Chip, AJ Era, and Dizzy. That's your lineup for the Total Impact races. And we cannot wait to see what's going to happen there. We are going to be live with... We're going to be live on Monday, April 6th. Same day as my birthday, no less. And I am proud to announce that Beer and Kebab from Beer.tv will be joining me on commentary for this historic event. Who is going to have the bragging rights? Total Impact Racing or the Extreme Talk Races? The only way to find out is to tune in this coming Monday, because this is one you're not going to want to miss. And what is the track of choice? The home of British racing itself, Silverstone. This is going to be an epic event. The very best of TOTD and the very best in XRL joining forces against Total Impact Racing. Don't be too surprised if there's a little bit of bias towards our respective factions. But we are going to give you the very best action this coming Monday night. And that's on top of the Formula 2 event that normally takes place on a Monday night as well. So you're spoilt for choice on my birthday. Now, let's get into this week's event results. So we're going to start with the XTR Formula 2 Cup, Formula 2 event. This is a good practice ground for the Formula 2 drivers to get themselves ready for the F2 race tonight. And it was round Germany. The top three are as follows. You got Chris Harley winning the feature race with Arthur Bowler in second and Anthony Waddington in third. The sprint race, you had Arthur Bowler winning the sprint race, Liam Hardman in second with Joe Newman third, which leaves the overall results: Arthur Bowler winning, Chris Harley second, and Waddington in third. On to the Knockout Cup now, and it was another full grid this evening. On Wednesday. So, this is who we have. We had Jamie Keats beating Matt Piclou 2-1. Gregor Telford getting a bye into the next round. You got Pete Polini losing to Arthur Bowler 2-1. Oliver Sonnen losing to Dean Barry. Dean building on his momentum from his win at Silverstone. Tommaso Cosmi winning 3-0 against KIRE04. Joe Allen beating Matt Dixon 2-1. Liam Hardman a 3-0 loss to Matt Anderson. Brendan Zargelis losing to Stephen Harrison 2-1. Andrew Jask winning 3-0 against Sam Congreve. And Jaleb losing to Scott Larvin 2-1. Dean Barry beating Gregor Telford in the quarterfinals. And then you had Jamie Keats winning 2-1 against Joe Allen. Tommaso Cosmi winning 2-1 against Scott Larvin. But Scott Larvin still went through by virtue of being the fastest loser. Arthur Bowler 2-1 against Stephen Harrison and Matt Anderson. 3-0 against Andrew Jask. So the semi-finals are as follows. You had Matt Anderson 2-1 against Dean Barry. Arthur Bowler 2-1 against Jamie Keats. And Tommaso Cosmi 3-0 against Scott Larvin. The final. Arthur Bowler winning. Tommaso Cosmi in second and Matt Anderson in third. Congratulations to them. Now, it's time for the XTR Classic. The top three: Jamie Keats in third, Jack Smith in second, and there was one person who managed to get his first win last night.
And his name is John C.
Nah, of course it wasn't him. It was me. And I showed the clip earlier. And yeah, this was basically my reaction to getting that first win. Big thank you to Charles Leclerc for providing us with that radio transmission there. So, news, results out of the way. Now it's time to get into preparing for the race. Germany, Hockenheim. Places many awards. So, shares a border with 9 different countries. 1/3 of Germany is still covered in forests and mountains. 2.84 miles. 3 direct seas. 7 the action zone in California. Turn 1, 2000. Carl Keller, Michael Schumacher. Turn 6, 2015. Raikkonen versus Hamilton. Result nobody saw coming. Sebastian Vettel in the stadium section. Turn 13, 2018. Middle 3 tyres for the rally range. That's it for this week's TOTD Show. To see what's in store next. To find out what happens next, stay tuned for the course of this weekend. TOTD action tonight, XRL tomorrow, and then we've got the battle of supremacy round 6 on Monday night. So, what an epic 3 days we have. To see how it all plays out. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you out on the track for the German Grand Prix. Bye bye for now.